Hi, welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Gabby and Barry, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on DVD is Gabby's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and the motivations that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Gabby has come a very long way while she's been here at school, and the first thing that we're going to take a moment to introduce is your training equipment. We're using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and Barry keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. This leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and let go on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using, and you will be instructed on how to use that during your follow-up training session. Gabby is sitting at Barry's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and incorporated into the heel exercise is an automatic sit, and Barry and Gabby will demonstrate that for us now.
Gabby, heel.
The command is Gabby, heel. This is one of the few times during the course of obedience training that you do use your puppy's name. Gabby's job at this point is to stay even with Barry's left leg, not forging ahead or lagging behind, and each time that Barry stops his feet, Gabby's been taught to sit automatically and wait for her next command, and she's doing a beautiful job. So Karen, now you're going to be able to walk your puppy without being dragged down the road, and when you stop to talk to a neighbor, she's going to sit nicely at your left and wait for her next command. Very nice job. And the next command that Barry's going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command. Barry's going to use the open flat of his palm right in front of her muzzle and the one-word firm command to stay.
Stay.
The long sit stay when you're practicing at home is for 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. This is a great exercise for developing self-control and maturity, and this exercise should be practiced right in your home. You can practice outside, but practice inside too, because we're looking for inside house manners. When Barry returns back to his dog, he will walk all the way around her for an additional distraction, returning all the way back around to her shoulders, back to where he started, back at heel position, and at this point Gabby expects to get another command, and they're going to run through their heel and their sit and their stay again for us.
Gabby, heel. Good girl. Oh,
He's talking to her to motivate her. We don't overpraise, and we don't use food as a motivator. Gabby's a very, very amped up puppy most of the time, so we don't want to overstimulate her. Everything is done very calmly.
Stay.
Barry leaves her in a stay. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the recall, or the come on command. Barry is going to use her name this time. He's going to use a little bit lighter tone of voice, and he's going to call her in and have her come right in front and sit facing his knees. This stops her from coming in and jumping all over you. She comes right in front and sits, and then returns back around to heel position. She gets up, walks around Gabby, back to heel, and back sitting. And Barry's going to demonstrate that recall exercise again for you.
Stay.
Barry calls her. That's all right, just call her in. Very good. She came right in front and sat beautifully, and back around to heel. Gabby is the kind of puppy that needs a lot of mental stimulation, and these obedience commands really help to keep her focused and help to exercise her little brain. Now the next exercises that we're going to demonstrate for you are your down commands. The first one is down from heel position. Barry's going to use the open flat of his palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down. Leaves her in a stay, and the long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 3 minutes, working up to 5 minutes. And you can practice this again right in your living room, and I recommend that you practice it as many times a day as you think of it. These are all things that are, you know, directly focused on getting her to be able to have some focus and maturity and self-control. When Barry returns back to her, he walks all the way around her again, just as he did on the sit-stay, returning all the way back around to heel position. He's going to heel her out of that. We're going to demonstrate that down from a heel one more time. The down commands are difficult to teach, but I think that they're the most valuable command that my owners have besides heeling. One-word command.
Down.
She's looking up at Barry. She's very focused. Now Barry can also call her from this exercise.
Gabby, come. Good girl.
Calls her in. And then he has her return to heel. And the very last exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a distance. Barry's going to leave his dog in a sit-stay.
Stay.
And remember, always have your dog sitting before you attempt to put her into a down. This is the only time that you're going to see Barry use his right hand to give the command, and he's going to drop her into a down.
Down. Stay.
Perfect. You're down from a distance. Now these are the formal obedience commands that we have taught Gabby. These are going to be incorporated into your everyday living situations. You're going to get a lot of instruction when Gabby comes home to you on how to incorporate these commands and all of the other things that we've worked on with Gabby while she's been here at school. We've really enjoyed having her. She's a nice girl, and you're going to be getting a great lesson. Please keep us informed as to how she's doing, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.